Top 50 romance manga, but it gets weirder and weirder. Let's go! Machida-kun's world follows the daily life of an affable boy who sees the good in people and enjoys interacting with others. Even though he isn't the smartest person, he just radiates this compassionate and caring aura that just draws people in. And they repay him with the same kindness he showed them and care for him just because he's him. If you like a comfy slice of life rom-com about someone who's generally kind and gets a deserved W, then give this manga a shot. The narrative is viewed from Chihiro's point of view, where she gets to witness the overwhelming personality of Yugami-kun. Yugami-kun doesn't give a frick about anybody's opinion, and he can be seen as an a-hole to a bunch of people, which can lead him into deep shenanigans because of his Giga Chad mindset of not giving a fuck. If you're into that slice of life of someone not giving a fuck, then go read this manga. A Sign of Affection is a manga about the small cute deaf girl named Yuki who falls in love with a K-pop looking dude who's bilingual named Itsumi. And we continue this heartwarming story about how two people form an unbreakable bond by making a tremendous effort to communicate in an unconventional way. And your eyes get treated with a cute and bubbly art style. So if you're into that shoujo but with a fascinating premise that's grounded, give this one a shot. Satou-san, who sits next to me, is a short story about the boy who finds his sitmate quite troublesome and basic, but a sweet and wholesome person. And as he interacts with her, he begins to pay more attention to her and develop feelings for someone whose flaws are clearly visible. And it is short to make your day a little bit brighter. Skip and Loafer is about a country bumpkin named Mitsumi who goes to Tokyo to pursue her dreams, but as she keeps interacting with the people and her environment, she encounters a whole lot of missteps, life experience, and learning how to communicate and adapting to the situation she's in. If you want to watch a naive person go through life and relate to moments you might have experienced once or twice, then this manga might scratch that itch for you. Blue Box successfully combines sports and romance to the point where the main characters Inomata and Chinatsu don't fall into the realm of tropey. They have goals, motivations, and are striving to achieve their dreams. But on the other hand, they also have interpersonal relationships with each other in which two of them encourage each other to improve their skills. And I can't recommend this manga highly enough. The execution and desire to support the characters in their profession as well as their relationships are inspiring as well as youthful. You and I are polar opposites. Suzuki, an extroverted and outspoken girl who follows the flow, and Tani, a quiet boy who goes against the flow. And we get to see these two dorks get into a relationship, try to understand each other, spend some quality time together, and have some funny couple moments. And from my point of view, the art style kinda reminds me of Chowder for some reason. Don't ask me why, I just see it that way. So if you're into that dorky, wholesome rom-com about two people who are complete opposites, give it a read. Get Married When You Grow Up, a short rom-com manga about a tall queen named Tomo and a short king named Chitose. We follow their daily lives as Chitose tries to fulfill his everlasting promise to Tomo of getting married when he gets taller than her. And we get to see this wholesome fluff and cute interaction of an Onee-san who oozes this zen calmness and a boy quivering like a nervous wreck. So give this manga a shot if you want to indulge your time and have butterflies in your stomach. The Circumstances of Our Lonely Love. Imagine a loner being watched by hundreds of eyes by their classmate to date the transfer student simply because he's the only one without the girlfriend in class. If you like a manga that provides a couple nagging and bickering with one another, getting to know more about each other, and finally developing genuine feelings for one another, then I shall serve this manga to you. We Don't Know a Thing About Love. This 4-komo story is about two high school students, Amano, a girl with a stone-faced ever-changing expression, and Koga, head in the clouds, being loud and annoying as a rooster in the morning. Both of them have not experienced love but gradually interacting with one another, attempting to make the other person smile and understanding the other person's jar full of nonsense. They begin to develop personal feelings for one another, so if you're into that type of stuff, then this manga's for you. A young boy falls head over heels for his sophisticated older girl named Shia. Watch these two have funny and awkward interactions as they bond over movies and try to comprehend and understand each other's hilarious and cringy interactions to move their platonic relationship into a romantic one. Or will they dance around the topic like awkward anime schoolgirls? If you want to see a young Giga Chad MC try to win over the heart of an older girl, then read this manga. Kaoru is finally meeting his online friend for the first time. He meets a cute girl who mentions his in-game name while fidgeting out of nervousness, Nanumi, who finds out her online friend is a he. Her spirit just drops to 0, but as you read the upcoming chapters, you get to see the unique moments that they encounter and the time they spend together, which strengthens their relationship and creates the companionship that will make you want your Discord GF to be real. The plot begins when Hana is caught by Yosuke while changing the flower in the class. The good old classic entropy rom-com of an unpopular young lady and a handsome and outgoing boy. And with the two crafting a secret, they started a connection that will make this story a cute rom-com about an undesirable girl who has one of the most boring traits applied to her and gets the romance that she deserves. If you enjoy and don't mind the shoujo tropey aspects of this manga, then you're in for a wholesome treat. Oobayashi, a literal walking megaphone, falls in love with a cute girl who has a complex about her soft voice, Komori. Their voice volumes may be on the opposite spectrum, but their feelings for each other are on the same wavelength. Watch as our loud boy handles and copes with his feelings, not being able to say his love to his crush, and a soft-spoken girl admiring him and unconsciously giving him massive hints to him, making him flustered to the point his screams reaches unreasonable decibel levels of volume. Get ready for some serious teasing and ultimate comebacks as Himekawa tries to get under Dojima's skin. But with Dojima's razor-sharp wits and poker face, Himekawa might have bitten more than she can chew. It's a rom-com that will have you lemawing as Himekawa forces her crush to confess his love for her, only to have the tables turned when he pulls the ultimate Unu reverse card and makes her confess instead. If you love the teasing trend in the manga like Nagatoro, Takagi-san, and Kobo, but want a Gigichad MC who always comes on top, then this manga is just for you. This manga is the clear embodiment of "there's no way she's into me, bro." The girl proceeds to show obvious signs she's into him, but he evades all the signals. But in all seriousness, this manga is way too cute, bro. And the art style is just bubbly, bouncy, and comforting. And let's give him some credit. He knows what's under the hood. He's just scared. He wants to keep the status quo because if she's not into him, that will change their relationship drastically, and he doesn't want to lose that special bond that they had until now. So if you want a manga that blue balls you until the satisfying payoff, then you are in for a short, fulfilling ride. And if you know the other works of the artist, then I tip my hat to you, fellow man of culture. If you want to scratch that love is war itch, I Want to End the Game of Love can fill that void in your heart. It is about two childhood friends trying to make each other confess their love for one another. This manga has a lot of cliffhangers that will leave you on the edge of your seat, cute moments that will make you say go "aww," and raunchy panels that will make your heart flutter and make you shout "fucking go out already!" And if anyone complains about the art, they should go to an optometrist because the freaking art is literally almost Kyoto animation levels of breathtaking. You can call the premise like copycat or bland or whatever. Ain't no way you're gonna freaking deny the art, bro. Love is Too Early for Himeno-chan, a one-sided rom-com about a delusional elementary school girl named Himeno who has a crush on a normal boy named Oji. Himeno has a special case of giving the most roundabout or unconventional signals she is giving to her crush, which she always misses and gives poor Oji one of the biggest mixed signals ever. Bruh, he might as well get lost in the supermarket while shopping with his mom. Well, to be fair, they're still in elementary school, but it'll still give you a few chuckle and a facepalm because kids are naturally dumb. Nishimura gets bullied a lot because she has a shy and gloomy demeanor, for which people gave her the nickname Grim Reaper. But just when she thought her social life was dead and buried, transfer student Takada befriended her, and through her interactions with this assertive kid, her friend group began to grow and she was reminded that she was just perfectly fine just being herself. A wholesome slice of life about a kid being oblivious to his surroundings, but in a good way because he's having an impact on someone who was socially outcasted. Imagine having two, and probably more, adorable childhood friends who grew up to be the most stunning woman you've ever seen. A story about a boy who became conscious and aware of his childhood friends' growth in many areas and tries to act cool and pretend to be not interested in them romantically and that way. While on the other side, his childhood friends tries to make advancements on him either physically or mentally by making him aware that they have an interest in him. If you want some self-inserting manga, then give this one a go, cause I'm already doing it lamao. a harem rom-com about a below-average boy that came from an acting background due to his mom being a famous actress, gets into the role of being a house husband of the 3 most talented girls? A story of an ordinary boy being able to give a heartwarming and unconditional love to the 3 geniuses who has all of their lives focused on honing their talents and have no basic life skills, gets to have the privilege of living an ordinary and mundane life to ease their stress. If you want a new take and a breath of fresh air on the harem genre where the main character becomes a fully fledged house husband, why not give this one a shot? Uryu, who has the goal of becoming a top medical student, got an opportunity to reside in a quiet location to pursue his studies. But what he did not expect was to get the chance of inheriting a shrine. And to top it all off, he ended up tying the knot with one of the 3 shrine maidens. Oh, and did I mention he doesn't believe in God? Watch as our boy get teased, encounter lucky pervert moments and butt heads with these girls as he tries to avoid the hindrance and temptations that will distract him from his studies. Will he rise to the challenge or will he fall prey to the charms of his new living arrangement? So give this one a shot if you're interested in the harem genre that's accompanying with the most beautiful art style I've seen yet. I present to you 2 perverts battle and outwit each other. On the right side, Okada-kun's goal is to stare at some huge plot, while Katagiri gets turned on by the perverted death stare and anguish that Okada is feeding her while blocking his view of the Holy Land. Will the man of culture finally get a glimpse of the treasure trove, or will he start accepting his fate and just stare at the gorgeous back of our main perverted heroine? In any case, it's a win-win situation, and it has some cute moments and some what the fuck is happening moments. Like, literally, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, especially the second half, like... What if I told you you can have a harem manga, but it's all packaged in one girl? Pseudo harem dives into that spectrum where our main girl Rin acts out tropes and cliches you would see in your typical harem genre, and our main protagonist who influenced her to do it in order to hone her acting skills. And we get to see the cute banter and interaction of the main girl acting different roles while the main protagonist is self-aware and acts out the usual cliche stuff that the main protagonists do. You must witness the middle ground of utilizing cliches and making it a way for our main characters to show off the most cute and wholesome rom-com you'll get. The story of how I went to a mixer and there was no woman there. It is exactly what the title says. A bunch of college students were trying to find love, and what they got were cross-dressers acting as hot bishonen characters. Watch as the boys question their own sexuality while getting to know these girls in the process. As they hang out in college, at conventions, or even their part-time workplace, they start to form a deeper connection and understanding of these girls. As time goes on, they might not mind their male personas and accept them as they are. If you want to dip your toes in a somewhat yaoi-ish situation while getting a few chapters of laughs and chuckles from here and there, give this one a shot. A university student named Asagi got a love confession from a heavy-breathing, bloodshot-eyed person called Paperbag-kun. Paperbag-kun, who got misunderstood and labeled as a pervert and a stalker due to his overly timid and socially awkward nature. Asagi took an interest in him and his mysterious nature and got a nostalgic feeling when she caught a glimpse of his face. Watch as Paperbag-kun, court our airheaded main lead, develops and rekindles a connection that was once lost. A coming-of-age story about an NPC-type character named Hachia-kun and a socially popular girl named Kumakura, but when she removed her bare facade, she starts shaking, stuttering, and cannot even muster a single word. However, as you read this manga, you will observe that our main protagonist, interaction and connection end up with them feeling each other and compensating for their weaknesses. Hachia has to step up whenever Kumakura goes into her shy nature, while Kumakura showers him with the attention and unconditional love he longs for. It is short, yet it gave me the biggest grin while reading through it. We follow the story of a misunderstood girl whose heart is in the right place but her face just shows a different story. You see her attempts at a soothing smile end up sending shiver down everyone's spine. Watch as our main character go through her daily life trying to understand emotions like happiness, sadness, anger, and also love. We get to see the coming-of-age story of Muken-chan as she navigates her way down the bumpy road of her high school days. Oh, and did I mention she's an owl? a wholesome and sweet love story about a carefree student named Arisa-kun and a strict teacher named Rinku-sensei as they go through the risky path of an intimate, no lewd action by the way, just wholesome fluff, teacher-student relationship. They encounter challenges along the way, such as hiding their relationship, the unforeseen future, and understanding each other's feelings, needs, and wants. Throughout the story, we get to see them overcome the challenges and have an actual mature, sensible relationship where they get closer and closer to one another. It's the ultimate teacher-student romance that'll make your heart melt like marshmallow in a cup of cocoa. Itsuki confessed his love for his one and only crush, Aoi, but the rejection hurt him so deeply he thought his entire being was null. As his sister was consulting him, she gave him an impressively stunning cross-dressing makeover where you could not even tell the difference. As he was going home, he encountered Aoi, whom he protected from high school thugs. Aoi didn't recognize him and they started this friendship of white lies in order to help Aoi conquer her androphobia. If you're interested in a manga where the main lead is a wolf in a sheep's clothing in order to help his one and true love, then this manga is right up your alley. The aftermath of slaying the Demon King left a despairing outcome of the hero sacrificing himself in order to get the best outcome in defeating the Demon King. But as they were saying their final vows and preparing for the burial ceremony, somehow our main character Shibuki sprung back to life as an undead. We follow the story as they go through a journey of finding a way to break the curse of an undead so that Shibuki can touch the love of his life while not burning alive. If you want a manga that literally and physically has comedic godly consequences for lewd hand-holding while having visually stunning art and wholesome romantic moments, then give this one a shot. Our main protagonist got hit in the head so hard that instead of seeing stars, he started seeing these gorgeous floating girls which he deemed as first love zombies. And that's just the beginning of the wild ride that's Hatsukoi Zombie, a unique, wacky, and trashy rom-com that has a straightforward plot but an interesting twist and concept to it will leave you with a long-lasting impression which is accompanied with a beautiful art style and character designs that will captivate you and engross you. While simple at the start with the half-naked floating girls, it will slowly ramp up to its drama aspects later on. Strolling down the outside hallways, fate ensued with our main character Yamano. Suddenly, he bumps into his crush, Saki. In a panic, he blurs out a nervous greeting, but Saki's response leaves him speechless. "I'm dead," Saki says. A mysterious thriller about trying to find the killer who murdered Saki. As they uncover the underlying mystery, they go down deep in the rabbit hole that makes the situation a lot more complicated. If you're into shows of mystery solving with a hint of romance as the main character's motivation for solving the mystery is to protect the one he loves the most, then this will be a good read for you. Confessing his love to his childhood friend, but then she got shot in the head by a mysterious girl who stated that the world's going to end if you confess your love to her. A thriller manga about a thorny path of either confessing to your crush or the world ends, and both of them suffer the consequences of never being together. And the art. As the story unfolds, the panel shifts from a charming and innocent to dark and sinister, ramping up the tension and giving you goosebumps. But at the same time, you can't help but chuckle at the ridiculous situation the main characters find themselves in. Imagine making the decision to sell your life for 10,000 yen per year. A soulless 20-year-old man sold his life for monetary gain, and the package came with a supervisor that will observe his daily life. But soon, that will be his biggest downfall and regret. A story that delves into the deep psyche of a man who has no will to live, finds his meaning of happiness through the irrational decision of selling his life. If you like to feel depressed and have yourself stare at the ceiling and contemplate your life decisions, then this manga's for you. Can you show me your pee-pee? Ogami, a girl filled with obscene fantasies in her head. I mean, who doesn't? Who is fascinated by the male reproductive system. Yuginuma is a boy blessed with a handsome face and a calm demeanor. And one day, Ogami touched Yuginuma's hands and she blurred out the lewd line from the start. A story of a boy and a girl coming into terms with this gross feeling called puberty, as it explores the struggle of communicating your feelings with people, and to be able to have a ground where two persons can understand each other. If you want a coming-of-age story with a twist that might make you chuckle, then give this one a shot. A university student named Chono has lingering regrets from his high school years, but when he came across a mysterious manga where he started to lucid dream about returning to his high school days, that's where he met a girl who was about to spice up his high school dream and overcome his regrets. a romantic comedy about reliving high school while huffing some copium and hopium at the same time. The story and premise sounds interesting, and I hope our main character can use the skills he learned in his dream and apply it to in real life, and get some bitches. Arata, a 27-year-old man, has been unable to find a job since leaving his soul-crushing retail job. While on the way home, he came across a mysterious man who offered him a pill that could make him relive his high school days. A story about reliving and fixing the past, as he tries to fix his past and create a future that's way more livable than his current present. If you haven't watched the anime, go watch it. It's basically about a delinquent boy and an honor student, but when they accidentally smooch each other, somehow they swap bodies. A story about complex emotions puberty of high school students sounding kind of familiar from a different series. But hey, this manga offers a lot more content, a cast of funny and bright characters, and an ending that left me satisfied. Amazing anime and an amazing manga if you're willing to read 200 chapters. It's still a good read to lose yourself in the world of Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. A boy chosen by God to become the strongest exorcist, with the heavy responsibility of humanity on his shoulder, wants only to live a peaceful life, but a girl shows up and turns his world upside down, showing that he can still enjoy the little things in life and live as a normal boy with her by his side. And he starts to pursue what his old master said, and that is to find love. A simple story, yet execution is phenomenal, with a breathtaking art style that will grab you and won't let go. And it's not afraid to go into the dark route, so give this one a shot if you really want something fresh to read. A totally normal high school rom-com about a junior who wants his senpai to notice him, but to his surprise, she also wants to eat him. Literally. A tale of action, thrill, mystery, and romance about yokais who invades and disrupt the peace. We dive into the sweet, mundane life of a boy and his senpai. She protects him from the upcoming danger, while he provides her with the comfort that she once felt but forgotten. A romantic and wholesome story about a boy and his dangerous senpai. Give it a read. Suzuki, a boy who obtains the power of osmosis and gains the past memory of his deceased father. But all of the memories that get transmitted to him are the bittersweet romantic moments between him and his mother. Now in his first year of high school, he starts to be aware and conscious of the fact that the girl he spends his time with is actually more than just a classmate. With his emotions mixing with his dad's, he starts creating a cocktail of complicated feelings inside him. Coming of age story that has an unorthodox way of coming into terms with puberty, going through life, and growing as a person. A story about three childhood friends, Yohei, Kei, and Yui, that drifted apart over the years. And until fate brought them back together, their worlds were turned upside down. This manga is one of those mangas that just builds up this tension in chapter 1 and hits you hard by the end of it, and you actually read like 100 chapters in one day. It is addictive to read, it grabs you by the balls and doesn't let go. The dumpster fire that this manga ignites keeps growing uncontrollably. Explaining the plot and the surprise of this manga will do it injustice. If you ever read Trails of Blood, Flowers of Evil, then that's basically a benchmark of how this manga can psychologically traumatize you. New Normal is a what-if situation if COVID wasn't handled properly and spread to the point where the younger generation wore masks for their entire lives. But that's not even the weirdest part in this manga. People's mouth have become the new private parts, and suddenly everyone's got a mouth fetish. And as society struggles to adapt to the post-pandemic world, they also have to grapple with some political issues like terrorism, rallies, and what's acceptable and what's not. It's basically like a dystopian version of our world. A manga set in the future where a dating app can simulate a romantic scenario with anyone and calculate your compatibility score with that person you simulated with. Where obviously people are trying to find the right one, and with the help of the app that can streamline the process of dating and just show you a percentage. With the rise of AI and how it can assist us in many ways like animation, school projects, and homeworks, I don't see this being far too off. Give it a read if you want something eerily out of this world but possible, and accompanying it with a cute art style. And if you know the author's quote-unquote other works, then I see you're a fellow man of culture. The infamous anime, the bathroom scene, the ass-loving principal, and the sadistic vice president. I do suggest anybody who finished the anime give this manga a shot. Its story and plot has got to be the wildest dumpster fire I've seen. It will leave you with less brain cells than a goldfish. And the art just gets better and better as you read the manga. Almost borderline erotic doujinshi levels of amazing, like the lighting, the composition, the anatomy, and the freaking cultured angles. Read it at your own risk, and if you never heard of prison school, congratulations, you're living a blessed life under that rock of yours. Are you ready for a bone-chilling love story? Then look no further than this one-shot about falling head over heels for a skeleton. It's a rib-tinkling romantic comedy that will have you laughing out loud with its deadpan humor. The chemistry between the two is simply humorous. And when it comes to tugging your heartstrings, this manga is nothing to skulk about. If you got 10 minutes to spare, give this one a bona fide chance and you won't regret it. Fujimiya Lovers is about a boy named Jun who confessed his love to his crush named Hasabe, but when she accepted it, Hasabe just poof, vanished, just like that. A tragic story about the boy stuck in a never-ending cycle of love confessions, like a hamster on a wheel, but instead of running, he's just falling deeper into despair. The panels in this tragic tale depict Jun's heartbreak through metaphorical images like a shattered heart or a withering flower. Yet, through all of the pain and heartache, Jun refuses to give up on finding his love. Is he courageous? Maybe. Is he a little bit chaotic? Definitely. But you can't help but respect his dedication to love. Give this one a read if you like watching pain. A dark downward spiral of a normal boy named Reggie, who is sick and tired of his hometown that is tying him down and making him miserable as a salaryman. When he caught a glimpse of a girl lurking in the dark areas of the convenience store, she offered him a cigarette. Reggie nibbled the cigarette with his gentle fingers, and the girl sparking the lighter, and burst of light came full throttle at Reggie's face. And he saw the beauty of the girl, and lit up her own cigarette. Something about the girl's beauty and the promise of rebellion is too alluring to resist, closing in the gap between Reggie and the cigarette, which made them millimeters apart from each other. She lit his cigarette, and that's the day the boy can never climb the ladders of naivety again. A naive boy named Punpun is looking up the dark skies full of bright lights as he goes through the difficult stages of life, which slowly unravels his own existential demise. A manga about twisted love, tragedy, and the dark path to maturity. The way this manga portrays it, if the circumstances just align perfectly, even an innocent boy can slowly turn into a raging demon. What makes this manga gritty and dark is the characters just feels too real. They have flaws and traits that are likable and relatable, and their environment and the situation can be close to reality. Words cannot describe the sheer amount of darkness that this manga portrays. Give this manga a read if you want to have a long-lasting experience that will give you some unforgettable existential crisis.